Very good morning to you. Welcome to yet another wonderful edition of the Paper Review on Quest today. My name is Alex Obunnaya. Today, like other days, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 papers up for review this morning. We have Vanguard, we have Nation, we have Daily Trust, we have The Guardian, and we have the Punch newspapers. So all of these papers are up for review this morning on the program. But not alone, I have here with me Comrade Efe Odomo in the studios. Comrade, good morning to you.
Good morning, Alex. We are here again to sing the song we know.
Yes,
and that's another section of newspaper review.
A familiar song indeed. And let's start with another familiar paper, the Vanguard newspaper. The lead story, Thierry Sanusi, I thought I would die before Uigwe. That's the lead story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Uigwe, the Nigerian man, former Access Holdings boss, who died with his wife, alongside his wife and child, in a helicopter crash in faraway U.S. His funeral ceremony has begun, and the lead story here is, I thought I would die before Uigwe, Thierry Sanusi said. The full story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We have a picture of even the governor of Lagos State, the vice president, all attended the event, all of them, most of them dressed in black. Bloodbath in Benue, 50 killed as militia gangs go to war. That's also on the front page below the Uigwe story. Above the masthead, on the front page of Guardian newspaper, Edo Guba, Shuaibu served impeachment notice as Oshiomhole denies involvement. NLC TUC issues 7-day ultimatum to Soludo over workers' welfare. We are determined to consolidate our 2023 superior performance. That's according to NPA. And finally, above the masthead, effective implementation of extant laws makes expatriate levy needless. That's according to the Organized Private Sector, OPS. And still on the front page, Africa Games, Enoch charges athletes to conquer Africa. And finally, Tinubu has clear strategy to reform economy, says Bagudu. Okay, we wait and see how that happens. Okay, that's that from the Vanguard newspaper. Let's turn our attention now to the Nation. We begin with the lead story. Outages. Minister threatens discos with license revocation. That's the lead story on the front page. I don't recall that yesterday during the Senate seating, power went off, and it wasn't funny at all. And I think it has affected the high and mighty, and that's why the minister here is, spitting fire and brimstone. Well, let's see where that ends. Still on the front page, above the masthead, APC draws battle line with governor over 16 lawmakers. Okay, controversy trails killing of 30 in Benue, family of 7 wiped out. 21 of 24 lawmakers sign Shuaibu's impeachment notice. President pays glowing tribute to Herbert Uigwe. That's above the masthead of the Nation newspaper. And below the paper, NPA plans $1 billion reconstruction of Tinkan on airport orders. Tinubu, Awolowo's legacies principle live on. Bureaucracy cash crunch stall e-passport issuance. And finally on the front page, UCH doctors on strike over attack on colleague, and Ekiti APC chair dies. All of that can be found on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Next is the Daily Trust. UN confirms over 200 women IDPs abducted in Borno. Families ask federal government, National Assembly to rescue loved ones. Terrorists burn IDP houses at Dikwa. Over 40 killed as militia groups clash in Benue. Wow. Including animals too. I'm seeing animals here. Flood Food looting, police, NEMA tighten security at warehouses. Herders, 50 cows, sheep killed in Plateau attack. NPA grew revenue to 501 billion naira in 2023. Wow, this one definitely, we have not heard the last of it. Heard 50 cows, sheep killed in Plateau attack. There will definitely be reprisal attack, so we've not seen the last on that one. It's a sad one. Hardship, reps seek 100,000 naira minimum wage for workers. Jigala Assembly impeaches 2 principal officers, suspends 4 LG chairs. Buhari's 8 years of printing money without productivity caused inflation. Okay. Buhari is no longer in power. They're all talking. That's that from Daily Trust newspaper. Let's turn our attention to The Guardian. The lead story on the front page of The Guardian: deaths, unaccountable security, votes may hobble state police plan. You can read that story on page 6. I take it again: deaths, unaccountable security, votes may hobble state police plan. Details are on page 6 of The Guardian. Boko Haram strikes again, razes several homes in Borno. NPA to consolidate 2023 performance. Reconstruct Tinkan ports. You can read up that story on page 4. Students lament unpaid scholarship, seek Tinubu's intervention. That too is on page 4. 37-year-old Nigerian lawyer turned caregiver dies in UK. Appeal court strikes out federal government's bid to retry Orji Kalu on alleged 7.6 billion naira fraud. Edo Assembly begins impeachment process against Shuaibu. And that's that from The Guardian newspaper. Let's see if we can take one last one. Yes, there's one last one on the front page. Nigeria's survival depends on food, health, housing agenda across states, says Adeshino. Okay. Finally now, from the Punch newspaper, 24 states can't pay salaries without federal government allocation budgets. That's according to the lead story, according to the front page of the Punch newspaper. The full story can be found on page 19. And it has some riders: 24 states to pay 1.4 trillion naira salaries in 2024. But generate 914 billion naira IGRO. Governors advised to boost IGRO. Ondo, Yobe, Sokoto, Plateau, Niger, Nasarawa, Adamawa. The list is endless. Cross River, Delta, Abia, others affected. Wow, states that cannot pay salaries without federal government allocation, including Delta. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Minimum wage, Labour slashes demand to 500,000 naira. Troops comb bushes for 101 abducted women. IDPs' homes burnt. Federal government, foreign scholarship beneficiaries lament unpaid 8 months stipend. Okay. And above the masthead of the Punch newspaper: 30 killed in Benue fresh attack. Senate to beat Tinubu. Blackout, federal government threatens to revoke discos licenses. And CBN printing of 22 trillion naira under Buhari fueled inflation. Details are on page, let's see now, that's according to Edu. Details are on page 20. That's that from the papers this morning. Let's now delve into the gist. Let's start with this one I took last. CBN printing of 22 trillion naira under Buhari fueled inflation. And no one is talking about this. Nobody is even calling the man to ask questions. And he's just there, cruising in Casino, probably outside the country. And while
I think it's still within. But you know the major
so
problem.
Why is it so? Why is nobody asking questions? Why is Buhari not?
Who is going to ask him questions?
The current
government of Nigeria is from father to grandfather, father, son. He did everything possible for the present administration to be in office. And do you think the president will now order people to go and start investigating him?
So why are they heaping all the blames on him? Because We hear Tinubu's officials saying he inherited a bad government from Buhari.
That is not an excuse at all. A bad government blames his tools. Go and do the work you are elected to do. He told the Nigeria and the world and diaspora that he contested because the economy was bad, the country was sliding, and that was why he contested and came in. So now that you are there, you should not say you inherited a bad administration. If the administration was good, why did he contest the election? Face the job you applied for. Do not apply for the job you cannot do. You see, in Nigeria, once you leave office, they start throwing everybody under the carpet. And it's a very wrong policy. When you are there, people clap, they dance around you, you are the best, even what you are doing is wrong, let's continue clapping for you. But the minute you leave, say, look at that stupid man, we advise him, he never listen to us. Everybody in that line are all psychophants, and if the law permits, they should be treated the same way the culprit is being treated. Tinubu has been in the corridor of this power, that is APC, right from 2019 till date. And most of the people in office today were also there. Is Ashomale going to proclaim himself innocent? What are people like Akume and Co? Are they innocent of what is happening? When Obaseki shouted that they were printing Naira notes in the CBN, did any of these officials counter him? Did anybody actually even supported him that yes, well, the claim is right and let them investigate? Everybody played along because they all got their own courts. Now the man is not there because it is he who has the microphone that makes the loudest noise. He's no longer having the microphone to make any noise. Now you are not keeping all the blames on him. Then if you know quite well that the man did and it was as at then until now it's still against the Nigerian constitution, what have you done like what you just said to bring the man to justice? I just said that they printed money, that one caused inflation. Yes, I agreed. We have a hyperinflation, not ordinary inflation. The cause of that inflation, how did you deal with it? Face the job you are elected to do. You remember the question Peter Obi gave when Soludo came in and said Peter Obi was just an Onitsha trader. He ran the economy like the economy of a trade union. Obina said, look, I am an illiterate, you are a professor. I did the little I can with my trading business knowledge. You that is a professor, bring your professorship into the forum. Let us see how all the ones that did not do well, build them up. And what are we seeing in Anambra today? It's almost like, as people don't even know that Anambra has a governor. It's so silent, and if not just a president that they had one program, he has been so silent, people thought he has left office. If you are in a position and you think you cannot handle that position, there is nothing wrong in you calling for the contribution of experts. It is done everywhere. Bring the brains together, task them with what they should do. In fact, the job of a leadership is supposed to be simple if you know exactly what you are doing. That is why I define leadership as the leadership is that man who knows where he's going, how to get there, and how to move people along with him. That is leadership. They should stop passing the box. Let everybody sit down, face their job, face reality on ground. You inherited bad economy, fine. Nigerian economy has never been good. So was he expecting that somebody will build the economy, do everything for it, then he will just come on and sit down and start claiming the glory? If he had made a very robust economy, will he give praises on the past administration that they did all they could? IBB in his time said, look, I made money and I spent the money. You don't expect me to come in and make money for you. That was the answer he gave when they confronted him with such issues. You should be able to know how to make money for the country. So if I make the money and I spend it on infrastructures and other things, why are you telling me that I embezzled money? How can we grow, and when are we going to grow in this type of epileptic policies we have? No policy is being pursued to the end. Once you leave office, your policy is dropped. If there another person comes in, he starts his own. Is it the bad policy that made, or the bad economy that made them to remove subsidy without a plan? Did you plan for the fallout of that policy? You just immediately you are sworn in the next paper you carried on subsidy removal. What were you having on ground? At that time, were you having your economic team to look into it and say, if we do this is what we will get, if we don't do this is what we will get? Failure to plan is to plan to fail. And that is what the government is experiencing. They should not pass box.
Okay. Now, let's go to another serious matter now. The minimum wage issue. We hear that Labour has slashed their demands to 500,000 naira, while on the other hand, lawmakers in the House of Representatives are rooting for 100,000 naira. The lead story on the front page of Punch newspaper says 24 states can't pay salaries without federal government allocation. Some states are struggling to pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage as we speak.
Some of them have not.
As we speak, some are struggling to pay that amount of money. Some have not even paid. And here we have 100,000 naira for the House of Reps. That's what they're saying, and Labour is itching for 500,000 naira. Is Labour not chasing
wild goose chasing shadows? In fact, at times they don't even know what they're chasing anymore. You see, you've not been able to pay a least amount. You are asking for almost 7 times that amount. 30,000 to they're asking for 500.
Yes.
Oh, that is an average of almost 300.
That's almost 20 times that amount.
Almost 20 times. Even this more than 20 times is more than 80. That's about 21 times. Yeah. So actually, is it that they want to crumble the economy? They want to cripple the country? I don't understand what they're asking for. Before you make budget, because federal government budget start from expenditure to income. What is the income level of that state? Most states depends on federal allocation. They don't have internally generated revenue. That is why they could not pay the 30,000 naira. Then you are now saying that they should now add another 270,000 naira to it. Don't forget, when you give the least person 500,000, you are not expected to make the other people at the top level to remain on their scale. They will also go up. Because as the ladder is going up, the people at the top will also be shifting up. Do you now want to tell us that you want to reduce the size of labor force, which is another trouble from the other end? Labor should be realistic. Labor should not even be going on strike on all these things, actually. If you ask me for my own candid opinion, there are too many things for labor to strike on. Look, when you make sure that the foundation is okay, every other thing above the foundation becomes solid. Do we have, apart from this oil, which is even dwindling in the international market, which is also being epileptic because of the rate of theft in our creeks, do you have any of our national assets that is working? Can you remember anyone? If labor should go on strike today that, whoa, NNPC, no, we no longer accept all this, our selling of crude and buying finished product. Give these people the crude to refine, bring it for us, we pay them for their cost of refining, and you bring our product for us, we sell at our own price. That is number one aspect the labor should look at. 2, all these assets that were generating money for the country in the past, that are no longer there, that they are moribund, the structures are there, rusting away. If you go to Asabana, you will not even recognize Asaba textile mill anymore. It's all carcass now. All those are the things labor should be talking about. Revive all these things. Go to Ajakuta steel rolling mill. What is holding Ajakuta rolling mills? I don't think it's up to 10% of the cost of repair. They've done the whole things. The last PDP administration almost completed the job before he left office. Have they gone back there again to touch it? Now the money that is being paid there is almost an allocation of a whole department. That the salary is more than an allocation of about 3 departments in other ministries. And nobody is talking anything about labor. Is not saying that. Look at pan. Why don't you think that they cannot bring pan back? Nigeria is one of the highest car buyers in the world, if not the highest, because everybody wants to drive the latest car. So, but have you seen the latest SUV? And that car is sweet. Oh, where is it? How much is it? I need one. I was in Warri one day. Then I was working in one of these biggest hotels in Warri, if not the biggest. There's one guy drove in a BMW. Do you know what happened? The chairman came to call me around 12 o'clock in my room. So, come. Look at car, man. This is car. No, this is car. Nobody drives car bigger than me in this Warri environment. Nobody. How much do you buy the car? As at that time, 2010. The man said he bought the car for 22 million. 22 million? The man just carried this phone and called his car dealer in Lagos. Do you have social pack? He said, yeah, full option. This is how much is it? If I don't tell me price, when are you going to deliver the car? I pay you your check immediately. The man said, yes, sir. He now turned back and looked at me. He laid on the car. He said, oh, this is car. This is car. They delivered this car to the guy. While people who are working there, some of them are earning 20,000, 15,000 naira a month.
And you probably must have not even paid them salaries that time.
This is the problem.
Probably owing some of them for months.
That's the problem. So, if labor wants to push home their point, first of all, shore up the revenue base. When the cash is now there, you can now start talking of how you want to increase the worker salary, those who are making the job possible. But no source of income. You say they should pay high salary, yeah, fine. We will pay people 500,000 naira when the fund is there. We work for 20 years, accumulate 500,000 for 20 years, That's 6 million per year. 6 million times 20, we give you 120 million.
No, that should be 12 million per year.
6 million per year times 20.
500 every month.
500 every month is 6 million.
Okay, yeah, 6 million. Okay, sorry. Yeah, true. I thought it was a million.
Now you now go home and start waiting for your gratuity, which will never come. Then what have you lost? Why don't you just get that little?
That little.
If we have a smooth running economy, even 50,000 will carry families.
I agree.
If your transportation costs is at the lowest there, your market products like the foodstuff, the house items are affordable.
The bills
are
pocket friendly.
Why don't they find out that you bring the rate of the power bill down? Instead of somebody, they give a house of a 3-bedroom flat, you're giving them a 20,000, 30,000 naira NEPA bill in a month. What do they consume? And the light is not even there. Why has they not gone on strike over such issues? Why have they not gone on strike over the incessant increase in petroleum product prices? Why have they not gone on strike because of your data still ruling list is not working? Why have they not gone on strike because even the railway system they introduced is already collapsing? Why have they not gone on strike on all those ones? Why have they not gone on strike on bad governance? Why have they not gone on strike for the governors that are looting their state dry and nobody is talking? Why have they not gone on strike on that? The workers are suffering. Every house is in shambles. Only one person is cutting away the whole money and labor is not talking. Then you are not telling those people to come and pay 500,000 naira. Is it normal? Is it normal? Now, our president went on a trip, placing your 2 sons above every other government delegate that went with you. I don't know whether you read it. 2 sons traveled with him. He placed the 2 of them above, apart from, after him, the next 2 people are his children. What did Labour do about that? Is it constitutional? Is it part of the constitution? Are the children part of the government? That you place them above the Minister of External Affairs, you place them above the official delegation, and everybody's quiet. Then you are not saying that the chairman pay 500,000. We should do this in consonance with the norms of the day. Otherwise, you continue beating the band, like Fela said. You took your band set to the graveyard and you are beating. And you think that when you now finish, nobody clap for you. Who's going to clap for you? Does the dead hear? Labour should put their acts in order. If they don't want to pursue the cause for the masses, let them drop their gauntlet.
Okay. Let them drop their gauntlet if they don't want to pursue what will favor the masses. Okay. We're still on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Of course, the killings are still ongoing. In Benue State, we hear that, well, the figures are not really the same. Some papers say 50, some say 30, but we take from Punch. Punch says 30 killed in Benue, fresh attack, Senate to meet Tinubu. And this is coming, I think, a day after we hear that some bandits, we don't know if they are Boko Haram, but some gunmen.
No, they call them bandits now.
Say that again?
They said you'll be calling them bandits.
Okay, went to IDP camp and, abducted several of them, numbering over 100, of them. And we don't know what ours. And every time we keep hearing the security details or the military saying they have eliminated the leader of this group. They've eliminated 7 people here, but I don't know. Where is this elimination taking place?
Maybe in the spirit. It's possible in the spirit. And the government, we should not be discussing this part of terrorism anymore because the government is in favor of it. If they are not in favor of it, they will have eliminated them long ago. You cannot tell me that those people are living in the moon, that nobody has contact with them. Even if nobody knows where they are living, they are communicating with the families of the victims. Is it not a traceable matter? Is it not a traceable matter? If government could come to Mali to rescue just one person that was kidnapped, government of a nation came and rescued just one person that was kidnapped, that was placed, the SIM card they were using to have the communication was destroyed on the last day. But they were able to trace that SIM card to where they destroyed it and were able to link it with the new one they were using. And they arrested those people. Why is it difficult for our government to do same? Why is it difficult? In a war situation, anything is fair. There is no general, there is no lance corporal in the war. If you are a general from one side, the lance corporal from this side can come and arrest you and even mess up the person, kill the person. You cannot tell me that don't you I'm a general. That you are a general in your own area, not in my area. This is a situation that everybody is panicking. The economy is in shambles. Our food production is epileptic because of what we are seeing. Why don't you apply every means to eliminate these people? You send our boys for training. You send our money overseas to go and bring fighter equipment. Every day you stockpile the military. They ask now. Still, we are not having headway. We don't even know where the problem is now. Like the words of the universe, it has taken a bend. That we cannot trace their footsteps anymore. You have Tucano. I continue asking that question. Since they brought this Tucano into the country, has it left the parking slot at the airport? What's the essence of bringing them in now? What was the cost of that into the nation? And you are going to be paying airport tax on daily basis. That jet is parked there. So what's the essence of bringing it? Like the words that says, what is the essence of sacrifice if not for the food of the gods at night? Nobody goes there to start eating them. But it's the gods, they believe the gods, when they're passing by in the night, they will stop and carry something spiritually, but they will see the physical carcass there. What is the government actually telling us? And the reason they could not surmount this terrorism. Everything, every day, people die. They should not even forget some of these people that are dying may possibly be the leaders that can raise this country tomorrow. But you are killing them young. A family of 7 wiped off, which means that generation is totally foreclosed. Nothing again comes from there. And you are seated comfortably. In 1986, the then Thomas Sankara.
Burkina Faso?
Of Burkina Faso. Yes, Thomas Sankara. They were having an OAU meeting in Abuja. All of a sudden, he stood up and he said he was going back to his country, that there was a coup. They asked him what is happening. He said he must leave, that there is a coup in his country. The guy left. But you know what happened? It was an accident that involved 2 traffic wardens. Just 2 traffic wardens. He left the meeting to go and assess what was happening. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't any other thing, but just an accident. That's how you take the seriousness of leaders about the happenings in their country. But here, they even came to the seat of power to kidnap. Nothing is done. They laid ambush for the advance party of Mr. President on the road, killing some of the military guys. Nothing happened to it. They derailed the whole train, kidnapped all of them, including professors. Nothing happened about it. Now tell me, why do you think those people will stop that act? Any man you think you can defeat in a boxing ring, don't use him to dance around. You want to show yourself that, yes, I can do this. Just go ahead and do what you want to do. Let the government tell us that they have bowed to terrorism. We all retreat to our sesopodia. You remember that English? That I will withdraw to my sesopodia when we were in secondary school. So that we don't start dancing around something that is not controllable. But as far as I'm concerned, something is becoming uncontrollable now.
Okay, let's leave that and go to Edo State. This is expected because earlier this week we reported that a lawmaker in Edo State said that plans to impeach Philip Shaibu will commence on Wednesday, and he did so. They have served him a notice of his impeachment yesterday. And were you expecting this?
Yes, of course. I was expecting it. Even not even only that. If nobody, does it even have power of immunity? That's one. Do the deputies have power of immunity that they could not be arrested? If they don't, how much will be arrested by now? You are setting both the party and the state on fire. It's a clear case. You are setting them on fire. Well, you were told that they have to respect the party constitution. The party constitution did not zone that position as at now to your senatorial district. You have served as a deputy for 8 years now. Because if you followed Obaseki down, you served for 8 years now. My friend, let the other areas benefit. You said no. Your governor even called you as a junior brother, as a son. Look, my son, this thing is not for this section now. This is the people that will benefit from it. It may roll back to that section, then you can go. You said no, you must contest. You are disobeying your governor. And the law of party is loyalty. The very moment you start measuring shoulder with your boss that you are equal, then you are gone. Not even your downfall, you are gone. The man is even magnanimous to retain him in the office. You know, that was how they locked him out of office. All those ones did not teach him any lesson. You now went and organized a kangaroo primaries in parallel with the officially recognized committee. You were declared the winner. It was not even enough for you. You carried some of your boys to Abuja, to PDP office, demanding for certificates of return. What are you planning to do? What are you planning to do? And you do not need to tell somebody that you are mad. But if you tell somebody that they are behaving like somebody who has no single sense, what have you told that person? It's only a madman that has no sense. But I didn't tell him he's mad, though. I didn't tell him. But you've told him he's behaving like somebody that has no single sense in his head. The man has overclimbed the tree, and when you climb the tree more than the leaf, the next thing you do is to find yourself on the ground. If you're not lucky, the tree is so high, you may end up in the hospital. You don't go to your bed by standing. If you want to go to bed, you sit down first before you lie down. If you fall on your bed, then you end up in the hospital. That's what the man has done. The House of Assembly should even fast track the impeachment notice and let him leave. Because as at now, how can he work with the governor? Because the deputy's position is the number one SA to the governor.
Yeah.
Because the Constitution says whatever the governor or the president assigned to him, that's the Constitution, which means is the most senior SA to the governor. That was why Atiku said that I am the most, when he was in office, that I am the most used vice president I have ever seen. Because almost all the jobs, the president was pushing them to him. But when he wanted to now start biting the finger that was feeding him, the second tenure, you saw what happened to him. He was almost out of the system. He was just in the office. Okay, if I don't give you any job, will you do anything? Yeah, sit down there. If you like, you go. If you like, you remain. Shuaibu has overdone things. Initially, I was in his support that anybody can contest any position. Don't disenfranchise anyone. He may be lucky. But the way he just carried out the whole activities, you were not qualified for the primaries. You now went, no. What is absorbed now? If there had been crisis or fracas from that something, would he have been able to control it? Does he have the power to call any security agency to the field? Can he call the military? Can he call the police? Does he have the power? Even Jonathan, when he was vice president before he became a full president, was he having power to call the military to a battle? We should do things that is within our coffers. Let posterity judge everybody.
Okay, let's end this on a very sad note. Herbert Wigwe, his funeral procession has begun, and everyone is crying. You heard Sanusi, the former emir of Kano, saying he probably thought he was going to die before him.
That has no timetable.
President Bola Tinubu has paid glowing tributes to Herbert Wigwe. And why is everybody paying so much tribute to this man? Who is he, or who was he?
How about Wigwe?
Yes.
Came from a very solid family in the first place. The father was a director general in the early 90s to the mid 90s. That is Wigwe Shingo. It was NTA director general. Unfortunately, I use the word unfortunately, his immediate senior brother, Usita, the name is Usita, they call him Usikatanka, it's a guy name. We were all ICANN schoolmates. But Herbert was ahead of us because Herbert studied accounting in school. So they gave him an exemption. So he was ahead of us. The same man, the senior brother, died in a car accident along Pangol for Nipan some years back. Now, Wigwe was able to climb to that position. But when things like this happen and everybody, the big and the mighty, are crying, it's just like when you had a relationship with a lady and but 4 or 5 months later, they now tell you that the lady died of AIDS. What will happen to you? You start building on that fear that you must have contracted this thing. In fairness to him, and his soul rest in peace, most of these our people have their monies in that bank. That's just because they have their monies in that, unless we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. We know how Herbert built up from the beginning. We know how he built up. As at when he started climbing, the shares was 1 naira to the share was 1 naira. But he was able to acquire another bank with 7 naira share value. How did it happen? How? There are so many questions to be answered, but those people of the dead, may his soul rest in peace. You know, when the winds whistles by, the trees must bend to let them pass. Whatever that has a beginning must have an end. His own end has come. Every other person's end has come. The only thing that will not disappear on this earth, because everything that has happened one day has come to disappear. The only thing that has not disappeared is God, because God is an invisible being that you cannot see. So he will never appear.
He will never disappear because
even Methuselah came for 969 years.
And he left.
Jesus Christ for 33.5 years.
And he
left. So even Melchizedek, who is in the order of Christ, also came and spent some years and he left. So there is no big doing it. All we pray is let the day of our living meet us in good condition.
Exactly. And that's why we're going to leave now this morning from the studio. We came and then we're leaving.
We are leaving.
Yes.
No, to regroup again.
Maybe, inshallah. Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Efe Adamo. This is where we will end it for today. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Tomorrow, God willing, we will be back, and please keep it dialed on. Keep your locks on Quest Television, and enjoy the rest of the day. Good morning.